All right, well, elsewhere, this week's possible event in Miami brought together some of the biggest names in marketing, like Shelley Zallis. She's the founder and CEO of the female Quotient, and she spoke to Judy Shaw about how the company is helping fuel workplace equity. Let's take a look.
Thanks very much.
First of all, the conference has grown exponentially, which is really amazing. But also, I love the concept of possibilities. And anything is possible if you want it. So just the name in and of itself sets a tone, a mindset, an openness of everyone here, being curious and wanting to meet new people, hear new ideas, go to the next level. And Miami's not a bad place, and I love the Latina community, so go Latinas.
Miami's definitely not a bad place to be. So now let's talk about the female quotient. It continues to drive the equity conversation. So what's your top focus for 2025?
I think, when you think about equity, for us, we are in the business of equality, but we're really in the business of opportunity. And I think that's really what it's all about. I'd love to see 2025 be a year where we move from conversation to intentional action. That's how change happens. The World Economic Forum says it'll take 134 years to close the gender gap. 134 years.
It's a long time.
Where will you be? Mm-hmm. Where will your children be? Mm-hmm. Where will your grandchildren be? And so for me, when you see numbers like that and people sitting around the table and nodding their head and just reading the words, that means they don't believe it's possible. And we say that we can flip it in 5. All it requires is a conscious mindset, brave leadership, pushing the boundaries, and rewriting the rules so that everyone can thrive in the workplace today.
Shelley, what's one step companies can take right now to move the needle on equity?
Well, I think first, when you think about, the entire concept of the workplace, the collective minority is greater than the current majority. So if you design your workplace around life stages, caregiving, women of color, it will work for everyone. And so if you design for the collective minority, it will work for the current majority, period. I think that's number one, thinking about that. I'm also rolling out a new concept, which I think is a mindset cultural concept. If you think about the golden rule, do unto others as you'd want done to yourself. Then we went to the platinum rule, do unto others as they'd want done to themselves, because me as a leader might not have the same lived experience as you, so how can I really understand what you want? Right. We're moving now to the rose golden rule, which is really do unto others as the collective experiences require. Mm-hmm. And it's more about not an individual, but if you truly want to have a culture of belonging, and representation is not just a check box on the checklist, but it truly is the underpinning of business strategy, business growth, business innovation, all of the things that we need to reflect the society that we serve, the customers we serve, the consumers you serve, the fans that we want to engage with. I mean, go on and on and on. We have to represent the collective minority.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Equality Lounge, it's become iconic. So tell me, how has it evolved, and what impact are you most proud of?
When I started the Female Quotient, it started really as a moment where I wanted women to connect with other women at big industry conferences, support one another. Once we hit 6 million plus women across 30 industries, 100 countries, it became a movement. And truly this electrifying, energizing movement for change. And it's not complicated. Change is around consciousness. Change is choice. And so it's time for transformation, because when you think about the rules of the workplace, they were written over 100 years ago by men, because women weren't in the workplace. And we never got rid of the junk in the trunk. And it's time to truly look forward for the modern workplace and build it. And we create it together. And that's really what I think needs to happen now.
Now, Gen Z is pushing for change. How is their voice shaping the future of work and culture?
Gen Z, you can't put anything past them. They're all about transparency and truth, but they also are, don't tell me what you're going to do, show me. Show me, show me, show me, and ensure that I will have work-life balance, even though there's no such thing as balance, work-life integration, that I will have flexibility, and that our values are aligned. And that's what Gen Z is looking for, value alignment, purpose. And they want to love what they do. And so I think that they are going to future-proof our leadership by ensuring we truly are transparent and true to our word.
Okay, and finally, Shelley, what's your biggest insight that you've taken away from your journey toward workplace equality?
I talk a lot about conscious leaders. So many people say, oh, we need male allies. We don't need male allies. We need leadership allies. If you're in a position of power, use it and pull everybody up. And so I think we are in a very important transformative moment right now. People say, oh, it's unconscious or unconscious bias. If you say unconscious, you're conscious. Once you're conscious, you have a choice. Do you want to wait and watch for 134 years to your workplace evolve by itself, or do you want to impact change and leave a legacy in the lifetime of your leadership? And every Fortune 500 CEO has the power, has the choice to create the workplace, the workforce that they want. And the workforce that they want must make sure that it reflects the society, the economy, which naturally is diverse. So it's actually, if you look at the global goals, the 17 global goals, global goal 5, gender equality, is the only global goal a Fortune 500 CEO can achieve in the lifetime of their leadership. They can't fix climate. They can't fix hunger. They can't fix education. But they can control the dynamics and the destiny of their corporation.
Our thanks again to Shelley Zallis for that interview in Miami.